Hello and welcome back to Kilmainham Gaol for another one of our Kilmainham Gaol on lockdown videos. We're still in the museum, and once again we're going to look at an object associated with the 1916 Rising, specifically the 25th of April 1916, and it tells the story of Sarah and Christina Caffrey. And I was particularly anxious to share this object with you because even though Kilmainham Gaol is full of very sad stories and we have many poignant objects in our collection, for me this is probably one of the most heartbreaking. And on the face of it, it doesn't really look like anything at all. It's a bureaucratic form issued by the Rebellion Victims Committee. This committee was set up after the 1916 Rising, and people were allowed to apply for compensation if they had sustained losses to their property or to their income. And the application was made on behalf of Sarah Caffrey, who lived at 27B Corporation Buildings just off Talbot Street. She was a charwoman. She was 32 years old, and these are some of the women that she worked for, mostly in and around the Stony Batter area. You can see addresses like Prussia Street, Manor Street, Ockram Street, and you can see down at the bottom any other sources of income. Her husband earns 10 shillings a week. So this, combined with the fact that she was a charwoman and she lived in corporation buildings, would suggest that she was among the poorest people living in the city at the time. However, the most devastating part of this form comes with question 8, where she's asked to state the nature of injury sustained by applicant with detailed particulars showing clearly how, when, where and under what circumstances the injury was received. And she writes, "Bullet wound in hand, sustained whilst standing outside my own door at corporation buildings. The bullet struck me first, glided off my hand, and then penetrated my child's back. The occurrence took place on the 25th inst at about 2:00 p.m. What's not stated in this application form, but which you can find in the list of deaths for that week, is that Christina Caffrey, a toddler of about 2 years old, died in her mother's arms due to a bullet entering her spine. The rest of the form looks for further details. They're particularly anxious to know that she didn't stray from the precincts of her own home, therefore not involved in the rebellion. She's looking for compensation of £40. And you can see here then at the signature, Sarah Caffrey doesn't actually sign it herself. She just makes a mark, which means that she couldn't read or write, and had obviously got somebody else to fill this form out for her in November of 1916. And I suppose the reason I find this object so moving is, I suppose, the personal tragedy, but also reminds us that when the Rising occurred, those who had money, who had some kind of wealth, were able to get out of the city, head to the suburbs or down the country even, but the poor had nowhere else to go. We also don't know who fired the bullet that killed Christina Caffrey, whether it was one of the rebels or whether it was the British Army. And you know, the old cliche says that that history is written by the victors, but I think probably more precisely, history tends to reflect the interests of the powerful and the privileged, and Sarah and Christina Caffrey were neither of those two things. So that's it for this video. Hopefully you'll join us again for future insights into Kilmainham Gaol on lockdown. Stay safe. Thank you.